Okay guys, I just came up with an amazing idea. Originally, well, I'll tell you at the end. How about that? Yeah, that's why you have to stay at the end. And to prove that you stayed at the end, you have to say the word that I will say at the end. Haha, I almost got you. Or, how about this? If you watch it to the end and somebody actually comments out the word, I'll tell you what I'm about to do to everything, man. And if one of you guys can guess it, then it's pretty obvious. I would have guessed it if somebody would make it. So, the thing is, if you guys wondering why he didn't use the shotgun, is that he practically can't yet. He can't activate it correctly. If he tries to activate it, he might activate it for like 30 seconds, but not too long. So, in that battle, he was trying to activating it, but it didn't work. And all that, plus, that's about it, actually. But now, Deku, or Naruto, did this, and he would be resting, and he would get up, saying if I had my shining on, that would have been a little easier. And he says I should go back about 5 miles, just in case any other slime will attack me. He would. And once he's back there, he would sit down, meditating, breathing in air. Breathing in, sensing his surroundings, seeing everything move. A leaf has just fallen, and it's about to touch Naruto's head. And that's whenever Naruto would pulse out chakra, with it getting completely burst open, not hitting Naruto. And Naruto would just be sitting there meditating, feeling everything around him, feeling energy flowing through trees. And he would open his eyes with the shining on. With him, his eyes running for a moment, and them turning off. And he's been sitting here for a good 15 minutes doing this. And he would look at his hands, saying, what was that feeling? It seemed that I could feel everything around me. And he would see the leaf pieces, or he would see the leaf, and what happened is there's a random hole in it, and he would hold it up, I'll say he's above the leaf village, he's like on a rock, pointing towards it, seeing through the hole, and he would have closed his eyes, seeing the same thing, but Konoha looks different. It looks older. It doesn't have its walls yet. And my hand has something on it, and he would open his eyes, confused, but he would just leave it alone. So, he would continuously meditate, and every time he does, he can sense even farther surroundings while doing this, increasing the time and time again of him using his Sharingan. The longest he had at the end of the day was 1 minute, which Naruto has never felt chakra loss before, because he has such a large amount, which he never questioned why. But yeah, Naruto would go back to the home, and this is where I'll skip about 2 years in the future. Now he's 6, and you'll see him in the forest, with him having his Sharingan awakened, jumping through it, cutting down monster by monster, with them popping open, with energy going into the air, with them absorbing it, and the three spirits will go in a weird direction and disappear after it gets 10 feet away from where it came from. Because that's where nobody can track where it's going to and destroy the statue. Just for plot's sake. But yeah. Naruto would absorb this ability. And he would look at his hand with him seeing a medal on it. Saying, good thing I came this far. It seems that my iron ability has just got a little stronger. Instead of covering my hands, it covers my whole arm now. And he says, wonder if I can use it on both arms. Trying to focus on the one arm. But it would disappear. Slowly retreat on his arm, going to his wrist. And the fist, his fist would be covered to his wrist with metal on the other side. I'm saying it's better to have both arms completely covered, but if I have my hands, I'll just take swords attacks on with my hands now. And that's when Naruto would turn back on his Sharingan, and he would turn around because he's dodging and move from a spike shot from somewhere from the forest with 3 Mars coming at him, with him dodging it, flipping over. Naruto doesn't really, he moves like a ninja but differently. Unlike most ninjas, he moves more acrobatically. His joints are more flexible than most, so his moves are way different than anyone's. They're not readable. Even some of the most strongest taijutsus experts in the Chiha compound can't even read his moves, and he can catch them off guard, even though he's not even in the academy yet. With some of them asking where he learned that, because the Uchiha fighting technique is more based on the reaction speed than anything. But Naruto is focused on every aspect of a ninja or of techniques. He uses reflexes, his strength, his preciseness to create a style that he calls Genpo. He can change his fighting stances at a moment's notice. He can throw kicks that can precisely target joints, muscles, and all that in the middle of battle. He has been studying these monsters' bodies. He'd run at this thing that shot a spear with metal on it, and it would look like a rat, and he would charge at it, sliding, hitting it in the back of its leg, which would destroy the muscle, as we see in X-ray vision, and break the leg while destroying the veins in it, making it completely come off with nothing else keeping it on, and it would spurt out blood. That's when the 2 more spirits would come out, with him using both of his hands that are already still covered, putting them out, with the metal hitting the metal, which would bounce off of each other. And Naruto would charge at it, which he would pull out his tails, saying Chain Link Crossfire, which is his evolved version of Crossfire, which shoot out chains like stuff, which he got this idea from searching up his name, called Uzumaki, because he still is the son of Kushina. And yeah, and he just wants to learn moves closer to his family, which would stab into one of them, and would wrap around the other with them squeezing, and one of them's dead while the other one's getting popped. But it would be held down with Naruto saying water blade, swinging his hands in a straight line, with all of a suddenly water going straight through it, with his head getting cut off. Naruto would get hit by the blood from all these things that he killed, and he would have took his clothes and he would have covered himself in water, taken the blood off, and would have dried. He wouldn't even affect his clothes because he takes every particle of water out of him or out of his clothes, leaving it dry. If you guys hear that in the background, it's cutting, but it's whatever. But yeah, so since Naruto would stand back up, and he says, "How about now?" Turning on his medal, covering both of his arms, and he says, "Wait, can I do it with my leg?" Doing that, he would grab the blade that he had in the first rat that he killed, which gave him a stronger ability of his medal, picking it up, and it would be a completely cleared white blade. But his arm would still be metallized, touching it, turning it black. And he would be confused, and he would swing his hands around, swing the sword around, with him swinging at a tree that he didn't hit, but the tree would have a gash in it. And he would try this again, which this is called Invisible Cut. It is a special ability that these things can use. What it does, it's pretty much the highest ability that they have, where they can use it to confuse enemies shooting a spear at them with the enemies dodging. But if they don't dodge far enough, they will be cut with a weapon that seems to be twice its size. So if Naruto would have Zabuza's sword, it will be twice its size and twice as long whenever he swings it with it. With Naruto saying this, actually recut that. I'll say his sword is completely black and his armor is white, which would turn his blade white instead. That looks better to me. So yeah, he would have actually a white blade. But yeah. So he would test this out, and he would swing a sword that would be, he would test the range. He would put his sword touching the tree, and it would swing right. He would activate it with the sword gun straight through it, stopping. And he would drag his hand, and he would touch the visible blade, which can be stopped if you guys are wondering. So if somebody notices that it's twice the size and all that. But he would try to touch his regular blade on the ends, but it would be double the size. And he would see this. And that's whenever you activate the Sharingan, seeing the chakra there, turning it off, putting his sword away, turning off his arm, metal. Naruto would be walking through the forest, and he would be going north. North is from where he is towards the, he would have to go around the village, because he would be like south, would be where the golems are, walking across the territory of the wolves. While walking there, the wolves have this ability that seems to be more like an evolved version of the slimes, which Deku has given the name called Swift. It automatically increases their speed and how fast they can get even more than normal. So it's kind of like an automatic like dash move. It's twice the speed. That once a wolf learns it, as he's seen one of them learned it, they would grow a pattern on their fur. So he would be confronted by 2 regular wolves and 1 patterned wolf, which he has seen the boss wolf throughout with his sensory ability of meditating and is feeling through the nature chakra. And he would have seen the patterns and they would be coursing with energy. But it would charge at him. Naruto ducking down, then taking out his tails, saying water mode, covering his tails into water, swinging them at him, at the 2 regular foxes, smacking them with kind of like a water whip. And that's when 9 more would be turned into water whips. That's when Naruto would say, move, 9 tails, whips, swinging them with the swift fox, dodging them, and all that. And the wolf fox would be charging at him, trying to slice him, with Naruto ducking down with the thing going for his tail, with Naruto saying, go ahead, try to bite it, with the dog or the wolf going through his water. It would bite onto Naruto's tail, with that tail being completely chakra, and it would poof, or it would kind of disappear, with the thing eating some of Naruto's chakra, would go into his body, making him go out of whack, foaming out of his mouth, and Naruto would cut off its head, because he's seen that happen before, and it's horrible. It causes them to suffer, even beyond, because these animals don't have a choice to fight. They're influenced by the chakra that turned them into them. But yeah, it would pretty much be suffering. It can last for days if the wolf's strong enough. And that one had swiftness, so it probably could have lasted for about a week, he says, in his head. But his chakra would flow up, that switches red, mixed in with purple chakra. He would stick out his hand, absorbing it. And that's whenever Naruto would try to test out his ability, covering his arm, seeing if it does anything. And his arm, his white metal arms would have a black line going through them. And he would turn it off, looking at his arm, which they're not seeable, but he turns on his Sharingan with markings on him, looking at them. And so, he'd say that's pretty useful. And he would dash forward, seeing his increase of speed. And he would crush his foot into the ground. And he'd be like, that's a pretty cool run. I should take down more of these wolves. And all that. I should look for a whole pack of swift wolves next time. But I'm still gonna go to the golems. And he would walk off. into in this where I'll leave it off. So if you guys like this what if, like that screen, subscribe, which I don't really care if you subscribe. Honestly, I just do this to waste time instead of watching anime 24/7 or playing games, which I do go outside, but I watch a lot of anime. Still do. Actually, I stopped watching random anime. I only watch animes that are like shonen. That means My Hero. I stopped watching 7 Deadly Sins. If you guys never seen the animation of the new season, it sucks. Man. But yeah, lick that screen. Goodbye. Oh yeah. Sorry. This is where I was supposed to talk about what I was coming up with. So if you're come this far, I would like you to comment down Coca-Cola. If you comment down this, and if you have a Discord, give me your Discord, and I'll explain the idea to you. If you don't really care, it doesn't matter. But if nobody comments it down, just to keep the suspense, that is cool. But it was gonna be cool, which probably not. It's probably lame to you. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm Batman. I think I already liked that video or comment. Goodbye.